Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Upside Podcast. I'm Lance Helgeson with vAuto and Upside, and I'll be your host for today's conversation. Now, if you're listening or watching this episode, you probably know that acquiring cars from auctions has become more challenging for dealers in recent years. Supplies are scarce, prices are up, and the competition for cars can be pretty fierce. And that auction acquisition challenge is especially tough for independent dealers who tend to rely more on auctions than any other acquisition channel. And that's why I've asked today's guest, Mike Ali of Legend Auto Group in Chicago, to join our conversation. Mike's been meeting the auction sourcing challenge in part by trying out a new digital wholesale marketplace known as Upside Direct. Mike, welcome to the program.
How are you, buddy? How's it going, Lance? How's everything?
Everything is great, and we have a nice day here in Chicago today.
Oh,
So
beautiful weather.
we cannot complain. Well, let's give our listeners and viewers a little sense of who you are, Mike. So maybe tell me a little bit about your career in the car business and your dealership. Maybe the types of vehicles you sell, how many you stock. Just some of those details, please.
We're a used car dealership out in Chicago. It's a family business. So my dad started it back when I was born. I took over actually when I was like 16, 17, running the lot.
So who's the legend? Who's the legend? Your dad or you or both?
I would say my dad. He gave
Okay.
us, he helped us. He helped me out. Growing up, I just liked cars. So I would go with him when I was like 5 or 6 and 7 to the dealer and just, learn everything. Believe it or not, I was entering the auction at 15 years old. I started buying cars at 15 because my dad had 2 dealers back in the day. So I would go with him. He would get 2 bidder badges, of course. I'd take one of his bidder badges, enter the auction. And my first car I bought when I was 15. You're talking about, I was the youngest at the auction. I learned this quick. We've been doing this for a while. But now, since I run everything, it's hard to go to the dealer and go to the auction. You know what I mean? So this is what we like about this Upside, what we love about it. And yeah, we've been around for about 30 years, almost my age.
Okay, wonderful. And just how many cars do you typically stock and sell, Mike? Just to
We stock anywhere from 50 to 60 in the lot because our lot is a smaller lot in Chicago, of course.
Sure.
But we have storages, have cars in other places. But what we have physically is 50, 60 to work with on a day-to-day basis.
You retail that about per month then?
We retail a little bit less than that. I would say 30, 40.
Okay, very good. And so let's go back to maybe before Upside existed. How were you typically sourcing your cars? I'm guessing it was mostly auctions.
I was going to the auction. I was going to Milwaukee. I was going to Manheim, Chicago. I was going to Dyer Auto Auction. I was going to 4 or 5 auctions a week. I would say 3 or 4 to be exact. And it's tiring. You wake up at 5, 6 a.m. You get there to check the cars. You want to inspect them. You want to check them. You get there. You got people that already inspected the cars that are going to pay more than you. You leave the auction at 1, 2 o'clock. You get to the dealer at 3 o'clock. You're already burnt out. You don't even have the energy to sell the car anymore. You know what I mean? So what helped us more, I would say, with Upside is it's nice. Like I can sell a car while I'm buying a car. And then the condition report is honestly better than you being physically looking at the car. Because sometimes at the auction, I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of times, it didn't happen a lot of times, it happened a few times, where I enter the car the last second on one side, the car looks clean. Start bidding on it, you buy it. After you buy, you find out the other side's like smashed or something. So that's one thing that I like about being online. Online, you have the 360-degree angle. You turn the car real quick, you look at it. It's more convenient. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm at work. A customer comes in, I can go sell them. I can check with the finance companies while I'm watching cars, for example. So it's nice. And what I like, you know what I mean? It's easier to do. It's
For
more
sure.
convenient.
So with Upside then, now Upside runs over the weekends. What's your sense of how that works?
I want to say 400 to 500 cars a week. Upside, and what I like about Upside is they're pretty fair. It does not get better than Upside, personally, in my opinion, because they start the car at half of MMR. So basically, they let you, the dealers, decide what the car is worth. So don't get me wrong. It's not like we're at the auction. You got somebody trying to sell this car for 2-3 grand over MMR. You go waste your time. You inspect it. You check it out. And then at the end of the day, you don't end up buying it because you end up getting it with an F and the seller doesn't want to sell it. The different thing about Upside is cars opening way under what it's worth. So it's worth it in a way where no matter what the reserve price, the car's selling. You don't got to worry about getting it with the F. You're not going to get the car hassling with somebody to pay more, pay less. It's not like it's much simpler. And I've started with Upside since they first started, and their program is pretty good. They're expanding on a week-to-week basis. I was buying from them when they had like 70 cars a week, and now they're up to 400 or 500. God knows where they're going to be a year from now.
Yeah. What was your out of all the so how many roughly, Mike? How many cars might have you purchased from Upside? And then I want to hear about the one you remember the most.
Oh, the one I remember the most is an interesting one. I'll tell you about. But I've bought about, I want to say, over 100 from Upside.
Okay.
And the one I remember the most was a 2015 F-150. I won't forget when they first started their system. MMR is like 16,000 on this truck. They opened it at 7,600. I bid on it, and till this day I'm surprised nobody outbid me. I got it for the opening bid price. So that was better than buying 5 cars wholesale. You know what I mean? Which sometimes that's what caught my attention. That was the first car, the first week they run Upside. My buddy calls me, my rep from Mannheim is like, "Hey, there's this new, Upside. Try it out." I open it, and then as soon as I got that car, it just Upside caught my attention since then. Since then, I don't miss their auction whatsoever. I have to every week see what they run. Business slow, busy, whatever. You gotta watch it because you never know what you could get.
So what are the other sources that you use to supplement your inventory then, Mike? I understand Upside plays a role and you like it, but it sounds to me like there's other places you still shop.
Mainly I watch online. If I honestly lately Upside does fill up my schedule. But if I need anything else that I don't find on Upside during the week, I'll probably shop around for it on Mannheim, OVE, stuff like that. I don't go to the auctions. I don't do the auctions anymore. That's one thing, I don't have time for because I'm running a business. Like as you see right now, I opened the dealer. I'm here. I don't have time to be at an auction like I used to be. So if anything, it's all online. Since COVID and going to the auction, you feel like doesn't exist anymore. Honestly, it's a waste of time personally.
Okay.
Because you got like Upside, you got a lot of online auctions, you got a lot of live auctions. So
earlier, Mike, you mentioned you like the condition reports, which you don't hear a lot of dealers talking about, the auction report or the condition report from an auction saying, hey, I kind of trust this thing. But I am curious, has there been a car that you got, it didn't meet your expectations, and what happened?
Honestly, simpler than that. There was a few cars, not just one, but it's mechanical issues. Don't get me wrong. The guy that did the condition report, he can't drive the car 10, 15 miles like us. He's just taking pictures. So sometimes you get a car, you might have a differential noise, a bad transmission, or a jumping transmission. You open the arbitration. Simple and that doesn't get. They send you a link. You record the problem, stuff like that. They verify it, and then they tell you where to take the car back. No problems, no questions asked.
Okay.
So I haven't had issues. Title, no issues. No late titles, no long titles. Honestly, it's a nice program where I'm looking forward to see you guys sell 2,000-3,000 cars in a week instead of 500. I'm liking how it's expanding. I started buying from them when they had 70. Now they're selling 500. I look forward when they start selling 2,000 cars a week, where Upside can be my only source to buy cars, to be honest. Because now watching too many sources is time consuming. So just watch one where it starts on Friday, bid on the cars on Monday. If I could get all my inventory from there, which I'm starting to, you know what I mean? Like they're starting every week. I see it. They run 100 more cars. Like the way I see it, a year from now, I can see Upside running 2,000-3,000 cars in a week.
So, there are definitely plans to expand that. I am curious also, Mike. You mentioned before, well, two things. One is because the cars start at 50% of MMR, and then the bidding gets in, and you talked about that one car, that F-150 that really worked out well for you. But
Yeah.
generally speaking, what would you say where you're buying today from Upside Direct in relation to MMR? Is it better than what you might get elsewhere, or about the same?
I want to say it's, let's be honest, MMR, you can't really live off MMR.
Right.
Some cars you're gonna pay 1,000 over MMR. Some cars you're gonna get 2,000 under MMR. Some cars you can get 3,000 over MMR. MMR is not. I really look at more like the NADA book and the black book compared to the
Okay.
finance companies that are gonna buy it. So I really don't work off NADA, but it feels good. Like when you buy a car under NADA, it does feel good. Like when you buy 1,000, 2,000 behind under MMR, it's a good feeling. But
Mhm.
with Upside, I would say it's a hit or miss. Like you'll see cars go over MMR, you see cars go under MMR. So you really can't MMR. You really can't pinpoint a price on it. But to me, I think the prices are fair. There is room to make money.
Okay. So would you say that that's fairly consistent across every car you've purchased from Upside Direct, that there's an opportunity to make money?
Till this day, I haven't lost a single car from Upside, so that's a plus.
Okay.
Had no tile issues. Had some cars came with mechanical issues, but that's why there's arbitration. It is a used car.
Yep.
They stood behind that 100%, no issues. It's really a nice program. And then you're getting a 21-day deal shield on every car you buy. So instead of a deal shield costs like $200 a car, I want to say.
Yep.
End of the day, if you're buying 10 cars, end of the week, if you're buying 10 cars from Upside, you just got like a $2,000 gift. You literally got 21-day deal shield. If you're a small dealer and you have a small lot like me and you don't sell the car within 21 days, hey, you can return it, no questions asked. Who does that? You know what I mean? That's why I just think it's a beautiful program. Like honestly, it's you buy with confidence. It's really hard to buy with confidence nowadays. Like with Upside, you do, because arbitration is backing you up for something wrong. If there's nothing wrong with the car and you don't sell it, you got a free deal shield. Like, what more do you need? And then they're giving you a chance to buy the car half of under MMR. Like, whatever it goes for goes over MMR, under MMR. Somebody's bidding against you, so you're taking it for price of the market. It's not like sometimes we're in auctions where you got the seller bidding against you on the car trying to raise it up. No, you know, it's fair. It's like it's a program where, how am I explaining to you? It's new, but I love how it works. I'm sure other dealers, when they see it, they're gonna love this. Like, it starts Friday, it ends Monday at 3. So that Monday at 3, you just put everything to the side. You sit there for 30 minutes. You watch your cars. You bid on what you got to get. You get what you want one day of the week. The rest of the week, you're focused on selling cars. So it's not like where I got to be on my phone all day, every 15 minutes looking for cars, wasting my whole life buying cars or going to the auction. No, it's one day a week. The sale ends there. You watch what you want. You bid on what you want. You got a free deal shield. Most of the cars are auction guaranteed, low miles, clean condition reports. Like, honestly, I like it. Like, there's nothing there's no downside to it. That's why I see why they call it Upside, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I got a question for you, Mike. So I totally get it that you're not on the road like you used to be. You got more time to spend in the dealership. And maybe more time to sell, but how are you applying that time savings, and how has that maybe helped you with your business and maybe grooming some members of your team?
For example, when I used to go to the auction, and I run the dealer, I took it over, my dad, kind of, he's relaxing now, so I do everything. So sometimes when I'm at the auction, I get a salesperson call me on a car. This is a long time ago. I don't go to the auction the last couple of years,
Yep.
But they lose the sale, because when you're the owner, you can talk to the customer differently. You can drop the price. You know more about finance. It helps more. So being here and being able to get the cars is a big difference for any used dealer. Let's be honest, because when you're not at your dealer from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., you don't know what you miss out on. You have to be there. You have to be there, So the time-consuming part of it is my laptop right here is my auction. I don't have to go drive an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to auction. No, I just open this laptop right here. It's like I'm in 50 states.
Right.
So before, you were going to one auction, you'd have to run lane to lane, have a paper on you, write the numbers. This car didn't run. This car didn't start. You got this car on an F. This seller wants 5,000 over MMR. or this that. It was complicated. It was stressful. You leave the auction, you're tired. You go to work, you're exhausted. You're not even in the focus to sell a car. We can't wait till 7 o'clock to go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is more energy saving. Like, let's be honest. You're more energized because I'm working here. I'm bidding on the cars I want. I bid on them, and I can just relax, focus on my dealer, focus on my business, focus on selling, getting the cars ready, getting them transported. So you save a lot of time.
It sounds like it.
You
One question I maybe should have asked you before, Mike, is if you could what would you describe as sort of the type of inventory you're looking for? Is it a type of car, price point? What are the factors you consider?
I'm a used car lot, so we're not that picky. But what we more consider is cars under 15,000.
Okay.
Because these certified cars, 20, 30,000 mile cars. Let's be honest, they're for newer dealers to sell certified.
Yep.
We sell more of the 60, 70,000 mile cars.
Okay.
$10,000 cars. The more affordable cars, the work cars. People want to get to work in.
Yep.
Nothing. We don't sell luxury or anything. We just do a regular work car. Most people buy cars from us. Need it for work, of course. Need it to get around. It's just we don't target anything luxury.
I see.
We target cars under 100,000 miles, over 60, between there, and just cars that we can retail to customers that can want a payment that's affordable. $300 payment. Nowadays the interest rate is crazy.
Yeah.
The banks are scared. Everybody's scared. So it's like we don't really try to buy anything. We try to buy stuff, because something to be in people's price range.
Right.
Cars in people's price range. Because I tried the more expensive cars. They were selling a year ago. Now people can't afford that payment no more with this interest rate.
Yeah.
So you gotta focus on stuff that's affordable for the customers to be able to afford until this interest rate situation gets taken care of.
One question about bidding on Upside Direct, Mike, I want to ask, and then I want to ask about the future. But I've heard some dealers talk about how it's almost like a game, where because it starts so low, and then it's just a matter of seeing and coming back maybe Monday to figure out where else you got to be. How does that strike you?
That the prices start low?
Well, like the experience, does it feel like a game to you, or how does that experience of bidding here compare to the feeling of?
What I do honestly is I'm with you. The prices start low. Let's be honest. 99% of the time you're not going to get it for that price. But that's why what I do is just Friday when they start, I watch what I want. I bid on what I want. And I let the people play their game until Monday. Last hour, I jump in, look at what's still, on my budget. I'll bid on it there. Okay. But I'm not going to sit all week, tag along, people bid over them, and then because I know eventually they're going to get it to a fair price. So why would I waste my time? No, I bid on what I want Friday. Saturday, I try to sell them, a good amount of cars to get ready to buy some cars Monday. So it's fun. Don't get me wrong. When you open a car for a low price, it's a good feeling. It's not like where you're like, oh, wow, I'm paying top that, It's nice. Right. It's like, but I don't watch it all week where, I got outbid, I'm going to bid. No, I already know the car's priced fair. No, I just wait, my last hour. I get in, and whatever's still in my price range, I'll buy it. Okay. If it's out of my price range, you put it in hidden. So it is fun. They make it fun, to be honest.
That's good.
Especially when you got that deal shield, it's like you're buying with way more confidence when you don't have deal shield. Because when I buy a car right now from, for example, another supplier than Upside, it doesn't come with deal shield. So it's like, okay, if I miss if I get the car shipped after the arbitration window and it gets closed, I'm screwed. I'm stuck with the car. But with Upside, sometimes cars do take longer. If you're buying it from across the country, you might take longer in the arbitration window to get the car. That's where a deal shield will come in handy. So it's just nothing but upside, to be honest. Again, I'll say it, like it's a nice program. I just wish they could start running more cars. 500 cars is good from where they started, but I want to open it when they see 2,000-3,000 cars, where just be our main source. If we could make our main source, we're happy, because the way they do everything is beyond amazing.
I'm glad to hear that, Mike. One final question here. We're talking, and it's May, almost the middle of the month. as you look ahead to the summer and the fall for your business, your dealership, Mike, what are going to be the top priorities
In the summer,
and fall?
in the fall. Top priorities are just to keep rolling. You want to
Okay.
keep selling. You know, to bring food on the table, you got to keep selling. So priorities is to make sure we're buying cars for a good price, selling them for a good price, and just keep the ball rolling. You know what I mean? That's our priority. Like summer, fall, winter time, whenever the season is. Our goal is sell, buy, we eat, our employees eat, everybody's happy, and that's just the goal. It's always been since I was 15, since I started this business. You know, just sell,
I
buy, repeat.
Yeah, I appreciate how you it's a simple model and it works. And Mike, thank you for taking time for the
Oh,
podcast
no
today.
problem. And then a lot of things dealers ask me, oh, the economy's scary right now. Do you think we're gonna crash? Do you think this is gonna happen? I just tell them, don't worry about it. Worry about today. Tomorrow will solve itself. You know what I mean? Like, no reason to worry about the future. Just worry about what you're doing now, your present. Everything should be fine. And I've been doing this. I'm 32 now, so I've been doing this for 17 years. We've seen our ups, we've seen our downs, but thank God it's all been up. You know, just like upside. So everything has been good. Hopefully, it stays that way.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, like I've been before, like I said, we're going to the auction. Now everything's been changing online. I like it more because I have 3 kids, by the way, too. So more family time. You know what I mean? You're spending more time with the family. You're doing more stuff. You're more at work. It's like you do a lot.
Yeah.
Because the buying source where I was wasting 3-4 days a week running around is not there no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do. Well, thank you again, Mike, and
No
thanks to everybody who's joining to the podcast today. Until next time, stay well.